All right, you are listening to episode 3 of the Redbay Chronicles podcast with your host. That's me, Sergeant Redbay. Welcome to this episode. Today's episode is all about the Redbay Foundation. What is the Redbay Foundation? Before we dive into this episode is sponsored by nobody. This is all done by me and me alone. We have no sponsors. So please, if you enjoy what you hear, if you gain anything from this, please consider following for free. This podcast is live, often broadcasted live on kick.com/Sergeant Redbay. However, it is recorded and uploaded near daily on YouTube and Spotify. Please consider sharing the channel with a friend. That helps me way more than you may think. I'm talking everything, the production, the ideas, the design, the recording, the editing is all done singularly handled by me. Hopefully we get an editor here in the future. Hopefully we get some sponsors that align with our mission here. So again, the way we grow is by you and your support, simply by sharing the stream with this content with a friend. Now, again, today's episode is about the Redbay Foundation. What is the Redbay Foundation? What are the goals of the Redbay Foundation? Again, if you're new here, I have no bullet points on this one. I have no script. We're talking straight from my heart. I don't know how long this is going to be, as long as it needs to be. The Redbay Foundation is a couple of things. One, it is our community. It's what we call our community. It is what you are a part of right now. The name Redbay comes from me, Sergeant Redbay. And a lot of people ask, how'd you come up with that name? My actual name is not Redbay. My name is Brad. It's Brad Lee. And just a piece of a fun fact for you. That's where the name Redbay came from, is my first name. You take the letters Bradley and you mix them around. Okay, now I know what you're saying. There's no L in Redbay. Well, I couldn't find anything that worked with the L, but the running joke there is, well, we don't take the L around here, right? We don't take the loss, baby. I mean, come on, right? So that's where the term Redbay came from. Sergeant comes from my Marine Corps and policing background. Sergeant, the name or rank or role of a sergeant is one that is commonly known, even if you do not have a military background or police background. People have heard of a sergeant. They've heard of a general. They've heard of a captain, right? So people know the term sergeant. But what is a sergeant? Well, it's often a leader, okay? And that's why I found it appropriate to put sergeant in my channel, in my brand, to be Sergeant Redbay, because I want to lead and guide a community of like-minded individuals in whatever shape, way, or passion I can through positive elements, right? Through balanced gaming, like we talked about last episode of the Redbay Chronicles podcast, through fitness, through mental health, through connection with nature. These are the things that have worked for me. These are my passions. And a little piece of trivia for you there, Sergeant Redbay. Okay. Why did I share that? Well, the Redbay Foundation. That's what today's topic is, today's discussion. I've talked about this a little bit on my live streams. I've talked about this a little bit on the YouTube channel, but not for this podcast. We're going to dive into that today. A lot of what you're about to hear are goals, are aspirations, are dreams. But one, we're going to put our dreams and goals out there because that's how you're going to make them come to fruition. Start pushing it. The more you say it, the more you talk about it, the more we're going to be on that path. Some of the things I'm working on currently, some of these things are massive undertakings that I've never taken on before, but which is why this is not going to happen overnight. Let's give you some perspective here. Not only is Redbay Foundation the name of our community, the big overlying goal of the Redbay Foundation is to actually be a legitimate foundation, a legitimate organization, if you will, called the Redbay Foundation, with a major focus of it is helping military veterans. Helping veterans connect with health, both physically, mentally, and connect with nature. Again, these are my passions. These are things that have affected me greatly, positively, negatively. These are things that I've experienced in, which is the best way to help others. Okay. How are we going to do this? Well, in some shape, way, or form, I would like to establish what at least I think I do is some sort of nonprofit for veterans. This would be a great way to raise funds because we're going to need some big funds. The big goal, here it is, with the Redbay Foundation is to establish an actual facility, I like to call it, in the best of ways. This isn't some clinic or medical thing. This is a warehouse, man. This is let's envision this 50 acres in nature, up in the mountains, up in the trees. And the core of this, let's talk the Redbay Foundation warehouse. Imagine that military-esque gym, okay? The fitness studio it's just this large warehouse, man. And you've got the music booming, man. You've got the 40-foot American flag hanging down. You've got all the gear, the equipment, the jiu-jitsu mats, the saunas, the cold plunge. And this is the core, the warehouse of the Redbay Foundation. Okay? This is the heart of the facility. What I would like to see happen with this is let's get some trails through the woods, through nature, up in the mountains, where we can go for walks, go for a run, hike, whatever you're capable or desired to do. But let's build some cabins. Let's build some establishments where veterans can stay, where veterans can, right, actually come out here. They can stay in nature, connect with nature, which is going to connect with their mental, spiritual, physical health, whatever path we need to be exploring. And this is going to be different for everybody, right? But these are tools, these are an answer that have worked for me in my journey, through my mental health journey, through my physical journey, nature, fitness, and that community is what calls to me. And I want to help everybody, but I want to help veterans that have been in my position, that are going through the hardships that I've gone through, that I now have the skill set, the tools on. It's almost my responsibility to let's pass that knowledge on to whoever I can that would benefit from it, right? That's where all this stems from. I feel a responsibility to do that. So what I envision is that sort of element. Now, listen, this is going to take money, the operating expenses alone. So this is probably going to be part nonprofit and part business, as like a rental Airbnb, where if you would like to have a weekend or a night out in nature and stay in a cool cabin, book a night, you pay a rate just like any other. I don't even want to put the word campground out there because that's not what this is going to be by any means. Any other Airbnb, any other booking, book a couple nights, you go out there with the family, have a nice night out in a cabin, and have that sort of process in the Redbay establishment, the Redbay Foundation. So there's a financial stability to this organization because operations aren't free for anything. Okay. And then have the nonprofit wing of this entity where maybe it's so productive to the point where we can sponsor veterans that would benefit from this to come out and be a part of this and better themselves and grow and be a part of the community. And that's what it's all about, right? That's what I'm talking about. Now, this is a place that I want to be at home with personally, being the creator of this. So I want to have, a wing I can stay at, either live at or live nearby. Of course, I want to be in the heart of this on the regular basis. This needs to be a place of peace and home, where I can be there to connect with you guys, to connect with whoever comes out, and to help guide that ship. So in that, this is a bit of a home base for myself, for Redbay, for me, for Brad, right? And why am I sharing this? Well, what am I going to continue to do other than work on the Redbay Foundation? Well, all this content that I love, the gaming, the podcasts, the travels with the truck and the RV, the filming. So let's set up the Redbay facility as the headquarters, man. Let's have a nice common area where we can have other military guys out. Let's make a let's have, really what I want is a podcast studio there. So we've got 2 podcast studios, the Redbay Foundation podcast studio, right? High tech. You've got nice mic setups. You've got everything you need. Invite a guest out, have a cookout, get a workout in with them, get out in nature. They can stay in a cabin, and then we record a podcast together for the channel. The other podcast studio is the one in the RV, the mobile headquarters, right? Maybe I'm taking a trip out west into the mountains in Montana, or down south to Texas or Florida, and meeting up with some guys, or going out to a military base and doing a PT session with a unit or something. And we're recording podcasts along the way, right? So back at the Redbay Foundation, we've got the podcast studio. I want some sweet gaming rigs, okay? Not only for myself. Let's talk about mine. We'll have a nice dual PC setup. We'll have the live streaming setup, all the lights, all the cameras, the whole echelon, man. And probably a couple of those down the line. Again, you guys seeing how this is going to rack up. The money on this is insane, which is why this is not... Listen, if I won $1 million today, I would go buy 40 acres out in the mountains and start. Let's get construction going yesterday, right? This is all the long-term goals. You don't get there overnight, right? So let's get there. But let's have a couple nice gaming setups. Maybe one of the gamers and streamers I regularly game with. Bino's a buddy of mine. You guys know him if you watch me game. Jay Slays or Jinx, whatever you want me to call you, bro. He's in Australia. Let's get him flown out to the United States. He's got a cabin to stay at the Redbay Foundation. We've got a gym to work out. We've got a common area, kitchen, all this fun stuff. And I've got a gaming setup for him. He can stream. We can game at the same time. Maybe you're a gamer and we've got some sort of gaming weekend, an event you can register for and get everyone out there. I'm just shooting from the hip now. This is the kind of stuff that gets me inspired. Maybe we've just got maybe you're not a streamer or content creator. We just set up a few, big screens, some consoles, some gaming rigs. We get you guys out there. Maybe we end up getting some cool partnerships, get some early access to some of these games. Set up a crew to come out to the Redbay Foundation for a weekend, and we record a massive early access live stream content videos. Just look at the opportunities here, man. So the overall theme of the Redbay Foundation, of course, is bridging military veterans with their health, fitness, mental health, nature, all of that. So what we're going to end up producing with this too is the Redbay Foundation merch line. It's going to be Redbay style merch, right? The hats, the shirts, the hoodies, military style. Okay. One thing special that I will have, that I'm looking at getting designed here soon, actually, are challenge coins. The Redbay Foundation challenge coin. This is especially something I'll keep in the back pocket when I'm traveling. This is something that I'll award to anybody who that's right for it. Okay. As we travel, connect with other vets, other military guys. I got a lot of buddies still serving. I've connected with other Marines, soldiers, sailors, so on and so forth, that are serving to this day. As we travel the country, connect with them. That's something, you know what I mean? Especially if they're, if it's the right call. And you don't have to be just military for that. That's just something common in the military world, are the challenge coins. If you don't know what that is, look them up. We're going to have the Redbay Foundation challenge coin. Especially if you're a vet who's going to be a part of the nonprofit. We get you sponsored out, come out, stay in a cabin. We'll connect. We'll have a sit down. We'll have a conversation. I'm not talking some formal dissection of the mind. Just what you think it's all about. The Redbay Foundation. We sit at the campfire. We're having a good time. We connect. We build community. And this is what the challenge coins are for, right? So these are the goals of mine. These are the goals of mine. This is something I would love to build as big as we can. And especially, now listen, I've never built a multi-million-dollar business. I've never built a nonprofit. So I'm sure as we do this, as we grow, if you have experience on this and want to be a part of things and maybe have something to contribute to the greater good and not for exclusively your own personal selfish gain, if that's you, you're not the right person for this project. All right, we're going to have values. We're going to stand on those values. And I'm not bringing a singular person on board who isn't a part of that mission. You tracking? That's the mission. That's the goal. That's the drive. Okay. If that's you and you want and you want to be integrated in this in some capacity, I definitely am looking for guidance. I can accomplish so much as an individual. We're looking for people that want to be a part of that effort. Okay. The Redbay Foundation, that's the whole goal. Right now, if you want to support the Redbay Foundation, we're in such the infancy stages before I'm able to get things on the road with the RV, before we're able to purchase the land. The best way you can support is simply, one, following on all platforms, this podcast. I know that sounds repetitive, but listen, we do have merch as well. Just a standard original run, sergeantredbay.com, SGTREDBAY.com. Link should be in the description as well, actually. There's merch. That's a great way to support. 100% of those profits go directly to the Redbay LLC fund, which is going to be, 100% used to push this. This is my life mission, okay? This is my life mission. So this is going to take a while. But that's the goal, ladies and gentlemen. That's the goal. I'm open to ideas as well, right? I'm open to ideas as well. That's, again, a team effort. So that's where comments come in. That's where, if you watch, if you like watching live streams, we typically multi-stream, Kick, Twitch, YouTube. All of this ties into the Redbay Foundation, okay? That is the why behind the Redbay Foundation. Last episode, we talked pretty heavily on why fitness and why that's benefited me as an individual. Tied a bit of that into the mental health aspect of things, the dopamine hits. If any of that interests you, watch the last episode. We dove pretty deep into that. All this ties into itself, man. Into each other. All of it ties together, man. All of it ties together. Especially nature. Again, these aren't the answers. These are answers that I have found that have worked for me. Focusing on my physical health, my mental health, and my connection with nature are the key ingredients that have helped me maintain balance, that have helped me maintain discipline, that have helped me maintain purpose. This is something I'll always be working on. This is something each and every one of us have to work on. And I implore you to look at physical, mental, and nature as variables, as elements, as tools in your tool belt to be aware of, to explore if you've never explored before, to really give a good try if you've never given it a good try. And on top of that, I encourage you to find community who shares similar values in that also want to be their best in balance with the physical, mental, and nature. These are the core values that the Redbay Foundation is being built upon to this day. Again, if you want to be a part of that mission, of that community, it's already begun. It's begun with the content, with the channels, the socials, this podcast, the live streams, the community, we have people from all walks of life that we've connected with. We have military vets in the chat. We have active duty guys in the chat. We have people that have no relation to the military in the chat. We have people from United States, Canada, Australia, Europe. I'm just naming several off the top of my head. People that have been a part of the community for months, for a year or two. Now, granted, I started pushing, Sergeant Redbay started pushing content. This mission more formally began November of 2023. Gosh, I want to, yes, right around November of 2023. That's about a year and a half ago from present day. It is June 8th, 2025 right now. And again, it started primarily through gaming. But the Redbay Foundation is branching from gaming, ladies and gentlemen. Our community, the Redbay Foundation, is branching from gaming. The Redbay Foundation is very much so here right now as you listen to this. Even if you aren't connected in the sense of being a veteran, even if you're not connected in the sense of wanting to physically come out to the Redbay facility, you simply indulging in this content and hopefully taking one or thousands of things from this conversation, bettering your life, that's part of the mission. That's why I'm not just sitting here talking for no reason, right? That's the mission of the Redbay Foundation, and you were a part of that. I think I've made my point. I don't want to ramble. I don't want to waste your time. So that's the start of the Redbay Foundation. That is the projection of the Redbay Foundation. We'll wrap it up there. We'll wrap it up there. If you, again, here's the call to action here. If you have any desire to be a part of this in any shape, way, or form, even simply by indulging the content, by watching the videos, the streams, listening to this podcast, then please be a part of things. If you are called any further in the sense of, hey man, I have done a nonprofit, or I've got a friend who does, I've got somebody in my chain of command, I'm stationed down in Fort Bragg, man, who this is his language. Let me get you in contact with them. If you're called in any shape, way, or form, or want to be a part of this team in the largest or smallest role, if you carry the same values, let's let's be a part of it. And hopefully down the line, I don't know if that'll be in 1 week. I don't know if that'll be in a month. I don't know if that'll be in several years. We'll be starting construction on the Redbay facility at the Redbay Foundation. We'll have plans for cabins up in the woods. Construction starting on those. We'll be opening bookings for the cabins. We'll have the core Redbay community. We'll be in there working out in the gym with the music on. We'll be training some jiu-jitsu. We'll be having conversation. We'll be bringing you along the way, even if you aren't there physically, wherever you are in the world. We'll have the cameras set up. We'll have the podcast rolling. We'll have the live streams booming. And we'll be looking back on this conversation going, that's what's up, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We could talk to you all day. We're trying to push this content nearly every day, minimum once a week. So far, we haven't missed a day. This is going great. If you enjoy this conversation, please let me know in the comments. Drop a like, subscribe, whatever platform you're on. You can find me on all socials. Look at the links in the description, or just go to any social and type in Sergeant Redbay. We are beginning the Redbay Foundation. We are growing the Redbay Foundation. I love each and every one of you. Continue to get after it. Continue to have discipline. Continue to have balance. And we'll see you in the next episode.